Hi everyone, it's Stacy. Thank you for coming on this yoga leap with me. Welcome back if you've been practicing with me for a while. Welcome to anyone new finding the videos for the first time. So I have my chair out here. This week I'm going to stay in my chair. If you are sort of following the videos weekly, this will be the sort of holiday Christmas video. So it'll be the last one before Christmas. So I'm wearing my red lipstick. I've got red pants on for fun, and we're going to stay in the chair and just try to find some relaxing, calming stretches. I know this can be a crazy time of year, so I thought I would take this one down a notch. I've got my fireplace going, and we're just going to do some stretches in the chair for this week, and then we can jump back into all kinds of fun, active stuff in the new year. There will be another video after this week as well, just before the new year, so stay tuned for that one. But for today, we are stretching, relaxing, and taking it nice and easy. I'm going to meet you back in the chair in a minute. Okay, so make yourself comfortable in your chair. If you're not practicing in a chair, that's fine. You, of course, can always be seated on your mat and follow along that way. Like I said, this one's going to be nice and easy, nice and gentle to ease us into the final home stretch of the holiday season. So let's all settle into our chairs here. Now, depending on what type of chair you have, you may have armrests that you can rest your arms in. You may have a backrest. We want to be comfortable, but not too like slouchy. We still want to maintain a little bit of awareness and activation in our muscles, just so we can tune into those parts. So let's plant our feet on the ground if they reach. If you can't reach the floor and you have a block or a book, it might be nice to place that under your feet to just bring the floor up to you and so that you can reach it. And for the rest of us, we'll settle in. We'll sit up nice and tall on our sit bones, hands wherever they feel comfortable. Like I said, it depends on what type of chair you might have. Hands in the lap, and palms can turn down or up. Again, whatever feels comfortable. If you turn the palms up, it might invite some energy. So you may be looking to invite a bit of energy to the practice. Turning the palms down might help you feel a little grounded. And of course, that's what I'm going for today. So I'm going to turn my palms down towards my lap here. And then if it feels comfortable, last thing, you can close your eyes. If not, just turning the gaze down in your space, finding something nice and still and soothing to rest the gaze on. And we'll just turn our attention to our breath and our body and just sort of tune into ourselves and see how we're feeling. I don't want to assume that everyone is run ragged and tired over the holidays. Hopefully we have lots of friend and family time that we can look forward to as well. But we do just want to check in with our breath and our bodies and see how we're feeling. Notice where you feel the breath. Is it deep in the belly? Is it a little higher up in the heart space? There's no right or wrong. We just want to notice where it's flowing freely and where maybe we're finding it a little bit sticky. Trying not to change anything about the flow of the breath. Taking a few more moments here just to notice. Notice as well the physical body. Notice where we're connected to the floor, our chair, our mat. Notice our hands, where are they touching our body? Are they in our lap? Are they over our heart center? Are they resting on armrests? Just noticing all the points of connection. And then just before we start to bring a little bit of movement to our practice, this is a good time to maybe set an intention. The intention can be for the practice or for the week ahead or the couple weeks ahead, or just in general, and it can be anything. I am ready, I am busy, I am calm, I am happy, anything that feels right for you or anything that you want to sort of tap into that kind of energy for your practice, your week, or your month ahead. Taking a few more minutes here just to repeat that mantra, that motto, before we start to move and breathe. Let's just start with some gentle movements to wake our bodies up. We can wiggle fingers and toes. And maybe just gently lifting one leg then the other, as well as opening the eyes if they were closed, and just taking in our surroundings. You could extend one leg then the other as well, maybe rolling shoulders. So we're just sort of waking the body up here, getting ready to move. Couple more movements here. If you're rotating, maybe switch directions, whether it's your ankles, your wrists, your shoulders, whatever it might be. And then we'll just come back to some stillness here, checking in to make sure we're comfortably seated. And we'll start with a little bit more breath work before we move into it, but we're gonna start to open up through the front side body. So for our first few cat-cows, we're gonna have our hands on our laps, and we're going to inhale. So think about sort of pressing into the tops of the legs here to help open up the front side body, help lift it and open it. Inhale here, nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, we're also going to push into the legs, but now we're going to see if we can sort of push them away from our body and round through the spine as we exhale and find our cat stretch. Inhale, maybe pulling the heart space through this time. And then pushing, rounding, exhale. So moving through our cat-cow. Couple more rounds here. One more big inhale. And then exhale, just find a neutral spine for a second. Make sure our feet are nice and connected to the ground. We're gonna bring our hands up and bring them behind our head. Just kind of resting them either at the side of our head here or just behind our head. If you wanna interlace your fingers, you can. Otherwise, just bringing the fingertips gently to the back of the head. We're gonna continue with that cat-cow breath. So as we take a big inhale, let's open up and think about opening up through the elbows as well. And then as we exhale, we'll round, and then we can start to round the elbows and draw the elbows together as well. Inhale to open up. Exhale, round. Inhale to open. And exhale, round down. We'll do a couple more. Let's take a big inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Let's just come through center on our inhale here, nice tall spine. And now we're gonna add a little bit of some twisting motion. So we've been moving the spine in flexion and extension. We're gonna twist through the spine. So the sit bones are gonna stay nice and firmly grounded in your chair. Adjust the position if you need to. As we inhale, we'll find a nice tall spine. As we exhale, we're gonna use our core strength and start to twist over to one side. The elbows are gonna stay out nice and wide. They're not gonna come across the body. So it's as if we sort of got a stick and we're holding it in between our arms here. And we have to move in the position of the stick, of the broomstick. And then inhale back through center, nice and tall. Exhale towards the other side. So it might not be a big movement. We're using the core strength here. We're helping our twist by rooting down through the sit bones if possible and lifting up nice and tall. And then as we inhale, we'll come back through center. Exhale, twist. We're gonna move with a breath just like we did in our cat-cow. At any time, if the elbows up are causing any kind of discomfort, of course, take the arms down by the side, back onto the thighs if need be. We'll do a couple more here. Inhale through center, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale. Good, come on through center, inhale. Let's all exhale, bring the hands down. We'll just roll the shoulders a couple times. We're gonna take them back up to that position in a minute. So when we're ready, just inhale the hands back up towards the back of the head here. Take a big inhale through center. And now on our exhale, we're gonna actually find a side bend. So now we're bending the spine in another new direction. So again, don't let the arm drop in front. Keep this space nice and open. Find a nice stretch down the side body here. And then inhale through center, nice and tall. Exhale over to the other side. So try to keep the weight evenly distributed in the sit bones here so that you don't fall off your chair or tip over. It depends what kind of chair you have. This one that I'm always in every week, inhale here, is quite tippy. So I have to really concentrate to not fall out of this chair. There's nothing wrong with that. It actually adds a little element of awareness. Inhale through center, exhale. Let's go one more on each side. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, let's inhale through center. We can release the arms, reach them up, 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 up. Let's draw them behind one more time. We'll roll them a couple times or just shake them out, give them a little break. Awesome, let's just shake everything out here, see how we're feeling. So we've been warming up through the spine a little bit here. Let's add a little bit of stretching for the shoulders since they've just been doing a lot of work, especially if we kept our arms up the whole time here. So let's inhale the hands up about shoulder height in front, and then we're going to cross the right hand over the left, the right arm over the left, and we're going to reach back for our shoulders. Or we can come into, if we feel ready for it, eagle arms here where the palms are coming together. I'm taking this nice and easy today, and I'm staying, just giving myself a nice little squeeze, a nice little hug, grabbing onto the shoulders here. Another option, if you want to stretch a little bit more, might be to sort of help guide the right arm across the body here with the left arm, rather than just this nice gentle hug. So a few options here. Staying with this hug. If this is comfortable, but you're looking for a little bit more of something, options are to round down through the spine, splay the shoulder blades. Or, of course, lift the elbows and open up. So lots of options if the hug itself is not enough, which I imagine it is. It's a nice, gentle hug for ourselves here. Eyes can remain open or closed. We're going to stay for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's unravel the arms. We'll sweep them up overhead. Inhale. As we exhale, we'll draw them down. We'll cross the opposite arm over and then reach back. Find the position on this side. So we're back in our hug. We can round down. We can lift elbows. We can help draw the opposite arm across the body. And of course, we can come into our eagle arm. So lots of different options again. Settle in here, find a couple of breaths, closing the eyes if that feels safe and comfortable, and staying for 3, 2, breathing at your own perfect pace, and 1. Wherever we are, we can open eyes, unravel our arms. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Let's keep them lifted here. Let's grab onto our right wrist with our left hand, reaching up as we inhale again, and then exhale over. So it's a similar side stretch to which we were doing at the beginning. It might feel a little longer, a little deeper if the arms are outstretched like this. You can think about lifting this arm up and out of the body, up and over. Staying nice and grounded through the sit bones. Again, we want even weight distribution. Good, let's come up through center. Let's exhale the hands down. Let's grab on either to our chair behind us or bringing the arms behind us, clasping our knuckles. Now, if you're needing a bit of room behind you, an option is to scooch forward on your chair so that, so that you can reach the knuckles down towards the floor, or of course you're opening up through the front side body by reaching back and grabbing onto the chair. Let's open up here, reach the knuckles down or squeeze the elbows together if we're holding onto the chair. We're going to stay for 3, for 2, One more round of breath. Good. On the next inhale, release the hands from chair or clasp. Inhale, sweep the arms up, grabbing onto the opposite wrist this time, and reaching up and over to the other side. Nice strong stretch down the side body, rooted heavy through the left sit bone to stay evenly seated in the sit bones on the chair. Nice big side stretch here, staying for another couple of breaths. And let's come on up. Exhale the hands down. We can do a few shoulder rolls again. Both directions. All right, let's bring the hands out in front again. And this time we're going to just, we'll circle the wrists a little bit. Maybe we can even flick the fingertips, shake out the wrists. Options to maybe clasp, do a few circles. We're just trying to get some stretching and some action in the wrists a little bit here. Maybe even massaging the forearms a little bit. This is one of these areas, if you've ever had a massage, you know, I think we typically go in thinking about getting a massage through our shoulders and our back, and our glutes are always sore. And then they give you a little massage on your forearm and in your hand, and you don't even realize how much work is and tension is in these areas. You know, I mean, we're writing, we're typing, we're holding onto shopping bags maybe at this time of year. So maybe give everything a little massage, circling. You can stretch out the wrists by pulling the wrist down towards you this way, and maybe gently pulling the fingers towards your face this way. We're just doing a little stretching through the wrist here. This is really important, especially when we practice yoga and we're doing like downward dogs and tabletops where we're on our wrists all the time. We want to give them a little love today. All right, shake it all out. Good. Come on back to seated. Let's just do a couple of rounds of breath here. You can choose your cat-cow breath or any version with the hands down or up, or we can just sweep some big circles as we inhale and then exhale. One more big round. All right. Let's add in a few neck stretches, and then we're going to start stretching out the legs a little bit. So we're feeling a little bit warmer here. We've been rolling through the shoulders and the wrists. Let's take left ear to left shoulder. We're still sitting nice and tall in our chair. This might feel like enough. A way to increase the stretch a little bit might be if we can release the hand down, reach it down towards the floor. You're probably not going to be able to touch the floor from here, but sort of actively reach towards it. See if we can increase the stretch. Maybe even the intensity, but also sort of the area where we're feeling the stretch. When I do this, I now feel a bit of a nice stretch through the shoulder as well. And then if that's still not quite enough and you're looking for a bit more, you can take the left hand, gently just kind of rest it on the head. It just adds a little bit of weight as opposed to yanking the neck. Just adds a little bit of weight and it might increase the stretch, just that little bit more that we're looking for. So settling into our stretch here, let's stay for 3, 2, 1 more big breath. And of course, we'll make our way out of this by releasing the hand and bringing the neck back up. You can just move the neck in a few directions. You may want to roll the neck, and then we'll go to the other side. When we come back up through center, let's tilt right ear to right shoulder and see how this side feels. Now, it might feel different this side. This might be enough for you, or you might want more on this side. And here we go. We can reach the hand down towards the floor, a little bit out on a diagonal, creating this big line of energy and stretching area here. And then again, if you're looking for a little bit more, that right hand can come up and just rest gently on the side of the head. Again, we're not yanking it. It's just adding a little bit of weight and a little micro bit of weight to increase the stretch, if that's what we're looking for. And let's settle in here for 3. Find those deep breaths for 2. One more full round of breath. And let's make our way out. So release the hand, bring the hands back to the lap. And one more time, just sort of counterbalance any stretches, maybe even rolling the neck a little bit. And then coming back to seated. Okay, let's get into a little bit of stretching for our hips and legs. To begin with, just make sure the feet are firmly planted. You can step the feet a little bit wider. We're just gonna do a few hip circles here, hands on the thighs for support, and maybe scooching to the front of the chair like we did before if you need a little bit more room. Round through the spine and pull the spine forward. So it's a little bit like cat-cow with a bit more action, a bit more movement through the hips here. Supporting ourselves by resting our hands on our thighs and feeling the weight transfer from side to side. So maybe you feel that weight transfer in the feet and the legs as well. Let's come right up here through center and switch directions. So we'll inhale through center this way and then just gently round through the spine as we lean back and exhale. Moving at your own pace, making the circles as big or as small as you'd like. I hope you're still enjoying my little fireplace. Like I was saying, it was a little bit noisy. It's still a little bit noisy, but I really like the look of it. And it does create a bit of heat when I'm in here as well, which is nice, especially as that winter is just around the corner. Okay, let's come up to seated, nice and tall. Good. So now we're just going to plant the feet. The hands can be wherever you feel nice and stable. And we're just going to come up on our toes here. You can do one at a time if you feel like you need to help with balance, or both at the same time. And again, if you need the block, go ahead and put the block or a book underneath your feet. We're just kind of getting a little bit of movement going in the ankles. Awesome. Option to plant the feet down. We can lift one foot off the ground here. Just roll through the ankle as well. So both directions, or maybe you're going to draw a figure 8 with your ankles, getting a bit more movement in the ankles. If you're going in one direction, make sure to go in the other as well. And before we put it down, we'll just point and flex through the toes a little bit. And then lower down. Good. Let's lift this one. It doesn't have to be high, or just enough that you can rotate through the ankle here. Or draw some figure 8s. Ooh, that's tough with my left foot. I'm not left-handed or left-footed either. Yeah, ooh, that's a challenge. Give it a go. All right, point and flex. And then lower down. Let's add a little behind the legs stretch. Again, you may need to scooch to the edge of your chair. We'll step our right foot forward. Move back a little bit so I don't lose the frame. Sitting up nice and tall, try to find a little bit of core work to help keep you balanced on the chair. You can use your hands on your leg as support as we lean forward with a long spine. So imagine, you don't need to move your chair, but imagine your spine is nice and tall. We're not just leaning down with a rounded spine. We want to have a nice tall spine. Hinge at the hips here so that we can feel the stretch down the back of the leg. So staying where you are, I'm just going to reposition my chair. Keep stretching out through the leg. Option, of course, here is you can point and flex the toes. See how that feels down the back of the leg. We'll stay for a couple more breaths. I'm taking these stretches and hanging on to them for a little bit longer, just to really sink into them and feel maybe a bit of a release in each of the stretches. So stay for another round of breath here, inhaling and exhaling. As we come up, let's draw the leg up with us as well. Give it a little squeeze and then lower down. Let's switch sides. We'll extend the opposite leg, so left leg, and resting on our right leg here. Take a big inhale with that nice tall spine. Again, hinge from the hips, lean forward. Find the stretch down the back of the front, the extended leg here. You can stay in stillness. You can point and flex through the foot if that feels like it's giving you the stretch that you want. Keep breathing here. Stay for a couple more rounds. Like I said, we want to sink into this stretch a bit. See if we can feel a nice release through the back of the leg by being here for a little bit longer than normal. Feels luxurious to hold stretches for a while, I think. Let's stay for another 3, 2, 1. Let's inhale as we come on up. Let's draw that knee up towards our chest as well. Give it a squeeze and lower down. Okay, let's get into a figure 4. Oh, sorry about that. A little figure 4 action. Let's take our right leg, cross the knee over the ankle, and we're going to stand up next, sit up nice and tall. We've got this nice big wide opening. Just give the knee a little pressure, a little squeeze down. Make sure the foot's active and flexing. Staying up nice and tall to begin with. Let's see how it feels to sit up nice and tall. Or what are we feeling in our hip? Do we want to rock, or are we looking for stillness here? Seeing how it feels to be nice and tall. Press down the knee, just gently. We don't want to yank anything. We're just trying to increase sensation before we fold forward. If in another breath or so you feel like you want a bit more, we can start to hinge forward. So again, with that nice long spine to begin with. See how that changes any stretch and sensation in the leg. And staying here, or maybe melting down. Go ahead and round through the spine if that's what feels good as well here. Again, we're going to stay in our stretch for a couple extra breaths, a little bit of extra time. And then when we're ready, let's come on up. Awesome. Give the leg a little shake. An option, we're going to come into a twist. So we're still going to stay on this side. And so the option is to keep the knee like this or close the knee in a little tighter. We're going to bring our hands up and find prayer. Just we can press into the hands like this. Inhale to find a tall spine. Exhale, come into our twist. Now, again, knee can be like this or like this. We can stay nice and tall, or we can hinge forward, hooking our elbow on our knee. So it might look like this. It might look like this. Wherever you are, pressing into the hands, really trying to spin the heart space open and keep the hands at the heart center, not up by our shoulder. Just increasing the depth of the stretch by pressing, twisting, and opening to the side of the room. Let's stay here for 3 big full breaths. For 2. Keep pressing into the palms, opening up the heart space, looking over the back elbow for 1 more breath. All right, let's come on up, untwist. We'll uncross our legs here. You can just shake them out. Maybe windshield wiper the legs a little bit, depending on what kind of chair you're in, if you have space for that and room for that. And then we'll reset. So we'll bring the feet back together here. And let's draw the left ankle, cross it over the right knee. Settle in here nice and tall, bringing the hands to the ankle, making sure that that foot is nice and active, and then maybe adding a little gentle pressure to that left knee just to open up as we sit nice and tall, shoulders drawing down the back, finding 3 big rounds of breath here before folding forward. So finding your own perfect pace of 3 breaths. Noticing how the stretch feels, and noticing as well on this side if it feels different. You may or may not want to fold on this side. And when you found that third round of breath, decide whether we're going to start to fold forward with a long spine for a couple of breaths. Notice how it changes. And then decide after another few breaths if we want to stay up or melt down. And after a couple rounds of breath here, let's make our way all the way back up. Decide whether we want to keep our legs in this posture here or draw them a little closer together. We'll bring our hands to heart center so we can press into the hands. Inhale and then exhale, twist, staying upright if we like, or seeing if we can hook that elbow over the knee, pressing into those hands so that the heart space spins open to the side. And then we can maybe look off the edge of the back elbow there. And we're in a nice deep seated twist. And we're going to stay for 3 full cycles of breath. Long, full, deep breaths. Notice where you're feeling stretch, twist. Notice where the muscles are working. Finding another full cycle of breath. And then on the inhale, we'll come all the way up, exhale around to the front and uncross the legs. Let's scooch to the edge of our chair if we're not there. Step the feet nice and wide. Take a big inhale. Let's exhale, draw the hands through heart center and then all the way down to our thighs for support. And then we can hinge forward into a forward fold. The hands can stay up on the thighs for support. They can reach down towards a block or a floor as well. Let the head be heavy. Shake it out, yes and no. Breathe deep into that backside body for another round. And then if the hands are down on the floor or a block, let's bring them back up to the thighs and we'll roll all the way back up to seated, keeping this space and the stance here. Let's take an inhale through center and then exhale, dip the right shoulder. So feeling a twist again. As we inhale through center, exhale, dip the left shoulder. So twisting through the core, stretching through the shoulders and the back. Inhale and exhale. Keep moving, keep breathing. Couple more rounds here, moving at your own pace. One more, each side. Inhaling here, exhale. Last one. Let's inhale, come through center, good. Take a big inhale through center again. And we're gonna fold forward and come into either our forward fold in a wide leg stance. Hands can rest where they were before. Or maybe we want to come into what feels like an upside down happy baby and see if we can sort of wrap our hands to the outside of our legs. So I'm looping my hands underneath my legs here and trying to get into a bit of a happy baby. If you can't do that, no problem. Forward fold, let the head be heavy. Find 3 rounds of breath. And once you've had your full cycles of breath, release the hands, bring them back up to the thighs, engage the core, and come on all the way back up. We can unravel the spine one vertebrae at a time, roll the shoulders, and then we'll draw the feet back through center, and we're going to find our nice comfortable seated position again as we start to move into our rest and relaxation. So I know this was a nice restful posture, a nice restful flow rather, with nice gentle stretching postures, but that doesn't mean that we don't do our restful posture at the end as well, our Shavasana. So finding a nice comfortable seat, and this time maybe relaxing into the chair a little bit more, hands wherever they feel comfortable. You can bring them to your lap, you can rest them over your heart center, closing the eyes if that feels comfortable, taking a few rounds of breath and just scanning our bodies, and now just noticing how our bodies are feeling. Notice if we feel heavier and more relaxed into the support of our mat or our chair. Noticing if the shoulders have crept down away from the ears after a nice flow of stretches. And if not, that's okay, we're just noticing. Noticing if the breath is flowing freely, noticing if it's deeper or different in any way. And finally, just noticing if there are any areas we're still holding on to any tension. And if we are, maybe send a couple of loving breaths that way. Try to imagine those breaths as gentle stretches for those areas of tension. Shavasana is the time for our physical and energetic bodies to absorb all that good work we just did. Make no mistake, it was work. And turn it into something magical. It's a time for integration and rest. And know that rest is different from sleep, and that we need both every day. We should never pass up an opportunity to just rest and do nothing. The beauty of practicing through the video lens is, of course, if your body wants or needs to stay in restful pose for any length of time longer, just let the video play out or press pause now. And if you're ready to get back to your day, your evening, your week, you can start to bring a bit of movement. We go through fingers and toes, maybe circle those wrists and ankles. Choosing to stretch long in your chair or along your mat, or drawing one or both legs up, curling into a little ball. Taking a couple of moments to just wake up the body. And then we'll all settle in and take a breath together, inhaling, sweeping our arms up overhead. Exhale, draw the hands through heart center. They can rest in prayer at heart center, over the heart space, or back down on your lap, wherever you feel comfortable. I want to thank you so much for allowing me into your personal private yoga practice spaces, and for allowing me to guide you through this hopefully relaxing, gentle stretch in the bit of the calm before the storm. Thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you after the holidays. Thanks, everyone. Like I said, this is the class right before Christmas Day. There will be one before New Year's, so I'll see you then. Take care. Bye. Happy holidays, everyone.